Aloha and welcome to Mana Inspiration with yours truly, Note Endurance. And like always, we're going to have our weekly scripture. This week's scripture I have is Mark 10, verse it's 46 through 51. Kind of a long, but bear with me. It says, As Jesus and his disciples together with a large crowd were leaving the city, a blind man, Bartimaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard that it was Jesus, he began to shout, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet, but he shouted all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. So Jesus stopped and called to him. He's calling to you. Cheer up. So they called to the blind man. Cheer up, on your feet. He's calling to you. He threw his cloak aside. He jumped on his feet and came to Jesus. Then Jesus asked, What do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked him. The blind man said, Rabbi, I want to see. Go, Jesus said. Your faith has healed you. And immediately he received his sight, following Jesus along the road. Which leads me to my title, How Bad Do You Want It? Now, they told Bartimaeus to zip it, be quiet, but he heard Jesus was the healer. Now, I say, with that of how he is striving to get to Jesus, how bad do you want your dream? I heard this, and it says, if you're not willing to risk it all, then you don't want it bad enough. Which brings me to my story I heard from Eric Thomas. He's the hip hop preacher. Now, his story is called the Guru Story. The Guru Story is basically this guy. He wanted to be successful. So he came to this guru and he asked him, how do you become successful? Now, the guru tells him, if you want to become successful, meet me at the beach at 3 or 4 in the morning. So next day comes around, he shows up all in a suit, ready to go. Now, the guru shows up in his normal guru attire, I would say, tells him to get into the water. Now, the guy's looking at him like, dude, I wore a suit. Why would I do that? So he says, you want to be successful, right? He says, yes. Now go in the water. So he goes in the water up to his ankles. Now he tells him, go further. So he starts getting up to his waist. He looks at him, kind of confused, and says, go even further. So he goes up and he's up to his neck. Now he's barely above the water. So from then, the water starts to go and he holds his head down. Now he's kicking and screaming, wondering what the heck is happening, trying to claw and get up there. The last thing he could think of was trying to get that breath of fresh air. Now, as he comes up, he breathes. The guru asks, what was that very last thing that you thought of? And he thought, I needed to breathe. He says, as soon as you want success as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you'll become successful. Now, when you do this, remember, the obstacles are temporarily come into your life to test how bad you want it. So, leads me to my question again, how bad do you want it? Just like the blind Bartimaeus story, just like the guru story, they wanted it. But are you willing to sacrifice what you have right now for what you want in the future? Again, how bad do you want it? I challenge you to keep going, even when it seems like no one is supporting you, even when it seems like no one is believing in you or believing in your idea. Keep going. You have a God that does believe in you. So, how bad do you want it? Remember, fear becomes faith when you walk into it. So if that fear is starting to pop up, I challenge you to walk in to that fear and let it become your faith. That way you're able to share with others on how you were able to conquer your fears. So again, how bad do you want it? Aloha, guys. Salute to the troops. Like the message, subscribe, share it with others. Now, here at Mana Inspiration, like I always say, we are here to get through this thing called life together. I love you. Aloha. You guys have a blessed week. Thanks.